Hello everybody, this is Scott Sharp with Fretboard Toolbox, and for today's Seeing Mandolin on the Piano lesson, we're going to need, or you can print off if you'd like, the standard notation jig for mandolin, a tab file, Seeing Mandolin on the Piano, and then if you'd like to set up your piano the way I have mine set up, you can download this color-coded piano arrows. And all those are free, and you can get them on the Fretboard Toolbox website. And I hope you find something interesting today in this somewhat long lesson about how to look at your mandolin and piano at the same time and kind of see how they relate, and hopefully understand a little bit of the mando setup in a better way. So without further ado, here's the lesson. Okay, to see the big picture for my crazy method of seeing the mandolin with the piano, you would use this standard notation jig for the mandolin along with this Seeing Mandolin on the Piano PDF that you can download for free, or a TEF file if you have Tab Edit. And if you don't, you should get it. It's fantastic. At least the TEF view is the free one that lets you see all the TEF files and hear the MIDI files that go with it. So if we look first at this standard notation jig for mandolin, this has a color coding for these notes on the treble clef. And if you look at the color coding and then you look down here on a piano, you'll see the same colors. So like this blue G right here, on the treble clef is this blue G right here, G3 they call it on a piano. So piano notes have different octaves, and each octave is given a number. So middle C, what people call middle C, is C4 on a piano. And then if you look down here on this fretboard layout, you can see the strings 4, 3, 2, 1, the fat to the skinny, and then you've got a blue G right here. And so these blue notes right here on a mandolin correspond with the blue notes here on the piano, and then the green notes here correspond with green notes here, the 4 octaves like C4, etc., and then the maroonish ones do correspond with the maroonish, etc. And so I've done all of that. I've made those same colors available in little arrows for a piano. So if you ever want to set up your piano like this for some reason, you can print off this free color-coded piano arrows, and then with these different colors you place them at the different octaves. So I'll show you how that looks on the piano here. So here I've got the green color and the blue color and orange, and then I've placed each of these, the line that separates the two colors, in between the B and C notes. So this starts the C4 octave, that's middle C. There's C an octave above. So if we want to look at, how do I look at this, what does this all mean for mandolin? If you check out the Seeing Mandolin on the Piano PDF, you look at these bars here, the first 4 bars or first 4 measures of this show you, if I play the open strings, the open G strings, that's the same as the piano's G3 note. So if we wanted to look at that on a piano, this G right here is G3, and then on a mandolin, these 4 strings open are G3. Then next we have piano's D4 note corresponds with the open D strings. So piano's D note is right here, or the open 3 strings, if I didn't say that correctly. The D3 note is right here. I'm sorry, D4. And then if we play that on a mandolin, then the tab will show you that the next one is A4, which is up here. And then the E5. So the mandolin tuning is G4, G3, D4, A4, E5. And then if we looked at that on the standard notation jig, we can see that the green G here, G3, is the 4 strings. The 3 strings are D here, right above middle C, so that's D4. And then we have A4, and then we have E5. So that's mandolin tuning. And then the second line here of measures shows the G notes all up and down the neck. So G3 note is the open G here, like we've shown. G4 note can be found in a couple different places, so 12th fret and 5th fret. And the reason that is because the 12th fret of the G strings is a G. Again, it's just an octave above G3 here, so this is G4. And then we have the same G, G4, also in green, on the 5th fret, 3rd string. So we got G in 2 places. And notice those are 7 frets apart. That's a pattern you're going to see a lot on the mandolin. So let me show you those G4s real quick. So G4 is up here in the green. And then on a mandolin we have 12th fret and 5th fret. See, I'm going to show that again. 12th fret, 5th fret. Then to do the G5 note, there's 3 different places where piano's G5 is found on a mandolin. 17 of the D strings, 10 of the A strings, and 3 of the E strings. And notice that those are 7 frets apart as well. And if we want to look at it on here, we'll see that G5 is in maroon, so we have a G5 here on 17 on the D strings. We got a G5 on 10 of the A strings, and we got a G5 on 3 of the E strings. So 3 different Gs, but they're all in the same octave, 3 different places for the same octave. So G5 on a piano sounds like this. And then let's see if I can find the 17th fret here. So we got dots at 12 and then at 15. So here's 17, 10, 3. And then there's only one place that the G6 note is found. And if you check out here in the yellow, G6 is only found on the 15th fret. So on a piano, that G6 sounds like this. And on a guitar, 15th, or on a mandolin, 15th fret. All right, so the next measure starts showing some of the cool stuff, I think, which is how to build these chords. So the 11th measure here shows the piano's G3, D4, B4, and G5 being played. And notice this is the key idea. G major chords are built of combinations of G, B, and D notes. So all we're doing is playing different G's, B's, and D's to get these different chord positions that you might be familiar with. So this is going to go open, open, 2, 3. And then if we look on here, if we go open, that's going to be G3, open, D4, 2 is B4, and then 3, the third finger here, or third fret, is a G note, and that's G5. So if we look at that on a piano, we're going to play G3, and then we're going to play D4, B4, and then we're going to play G5. And then let me try to show you that now. So G4, D4, B4, I'm sorry, G3, D4, B4, G5. So then on a mandolin that sounds like this. Then if we want to play a different G major chord, we're just still going to use G, B, and D notes, but here we can play a position that has your fingers on the 7th fret of the G strings, and then 5th, 5th, and then 7th again. So it's 7, 5, 5, 7 in tab, and it's piano's D4, G4, D5, and B5. So that's piano's D4, G4, D5, and then B5. And I guess I could show you that again. D4, G4, D4, G4, D5, B5. And on a mandolin that would look like this. So 7, 5, 5, 7. Then we can also look at C major chords as well. If we take a look here, this C major chord is on the 5th, 5th, 7th, and 8th frets, so 5, 5, 7, 8 in tab, and that's C4, G4, E5, C6. So C4, G4, E5, C6. Okay, so here is C4, G4, E5, C6. And on a mandolin that looks like this. No, that's up here. So that's 5, 5, 7, 8. Or C4, G4, E5, C6. And we can make, oh, I should show you that on here too. That was C4, G4, E5, C6. So anywhere on here you can find G's, E's, and C's, then you're playing a a C major chord. So another C major chord could be played up here, where you have C4, E4, C5. This position on 5, 2, and then 3. So 5, 2, 3 in tab, but we're still just playing C's, E's, but this time we're skipping the G's, and when I get to the videos on building chords, I'll explain why, but sometimes you can skip that third note. So here we're looking at C, C4, E4, and then C5. So just those three. So we're still playing parts of C's, E's, and G's. So that was C4, E4, C5. And on a mandolin that would sound like this. And notice I only played 3 strings there. You don't always have to play all the strings. So the last chord we could build, to build 1, 4, and 5 chords, or the 3 of the major chords that sound good together in a key, we can build a D major here with just the 2nd fret of the top and bottom strings, the 4 and the 1 strings. So here's 2, 0, 0, 2, and that's playing the notes A3, D4, A4, and F sharp 5. So on here we'd have A3, D4, A4, F sharp 5. Oops, that wasn't an F sharp. Alright, so A4, A3, D4, A4, that was G4, and then F sharp 5. On a mandolin that would look like this. And then the last measure of this lesson just looks at one more D major chord, and this is playing the 2nd, 4th, 5th, and 2nd frets. which is going to be the notes A3, F sharp 4, D5, and F sharp 5. So that position on the mandolin is the 2nd fret here, 4th fret, the F sharp on the 4th fret, the D on the 5th fret, and then the F sharp again on the 2nd fret. So on the piano, that would look like this: A3, F sharp 4, D5, F sharp 5. And on the mandolin, we would go 2nd fret, 2nd fret, 4th fret, 5th fret, 2nd fret. Well, that's about all I can show you about this. I hope that gave you an idea of something that you might be able to take a look at sometime. But it's definitely been cool for me to be able to see kind of where the mandolin and piano overlap, and it's taught me more about reading standard notation and the way chords go together and whatnot. So be sure to check out our other videos. We'll have lots more coming, and thanks for taking a look.